All right, all right. We're live. We're live. Hey, it's your man, Darren L. Palmer, Chief Book Officer with Self Publish in 30 Days. I'm excited to be with you. Hey, I hit you with a surprise. You never knew. Hey, you didn't know about COVID-19 either, but that's what you got to do. You got to be able to pivot and make the necessary moves when it comes to business. Today, I got my main man on, my guy, Judge Graham, the author of Scale to be one of them. Judge, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. I'm honored to be here and excited.
Awesome, man. Awesome. If you don't mind, Judge, it's so much I know about you, but I like to hear it from the source. Share with the people just a little bit about your accomplishments when it comes to business and some of the things that you've been able to do in your career.
Sure, man. Self-made, lots of failures, Darren. But those failures overcame, always played offense, and failed a couple of businesses, and I've sold and won at pretty high levels a couple other businesses, specifically in the digital marketing space. And we're talking, 9-figure type businesses and 9-figure type exits of those businesses. So that was kind of my past career, right? Building, failing, building, winning, and selling companies. And now I've written a couple books. I do some speaking. I am a partner in burntheships.com with Matt Monero, which you're an alumni, a part of, helping small business owners. How do you go from $1 million to 100 million, right? Nobody's teaching that. And that's what we do at Burn the Ships, right? We build network. We teach you how to play offense. We teach you about your plan. We teach you how the strategies needed to grow to the next level. And, that's a purpose thing for me now, right? I love watching entrepreneurs win.
Awesome, man. And that's what we want for entrepreneurs to win, Judge. That's why we had to get you on the show, buddy. And I appreciate it, man. Let's just go with, say, for instance, we know it's an elephant in the room, and that elephant is COVID-19, man. So speak to some of those business owners, because we've received the messages for our coaching clients as well, who are, some of them are, not investing at this time. They're not adding staff. Some of them have found themselves caught with their pants down, so to speak, no pun intended, where they haven't created platforms. So, if you don't mind, Judge, share with people, what should they be doing in times like this as entrepreneurs and business owners?
Yeah, listen, I think one is turn off the news, right? As much as you can. I mean, I think fundamentally at your core, if you believe that this isn't the end of the world, right? And then us is a global economy, and in America as a country, that we're going to survive and get past that. As long as you believe that, then dude, right now more than ever is the time to play offense, right? In chaos, there is opportunity. That's just how it plays out, right? So I use this analogy, and the data here isn't right. I made this data up, but let's say 70% of people are scared right now, right? 70% of people don't want to buy. Okay. That also means 70% of your competitors are scared. They don't want to do anything, right? That means there's 30% of people in the market that are buyers, that want to buy, that want to play offense, and you have 70% less competition. Dude, now's go time, baby. Now is go time. So if you take that perspective, right, and I made up those percents, it's probably not that radical, but the difference is right now, unfortunately, there's going to be bankruptcies. There's going to be companies that go under, but the people that survive right now are the ones that come out of this thing. And Darren, they don't kind of come out. They freaking slingshot out of this, okay? Because it separates the men from the boys, the girls from the women, and it's go time. So a couple things that are come out of this market. If you're in an SMB market or a mid-sized company, you're going to have a massive opportunity to access to talent that you've never had before, because people are getting laid off. They don't have the ability to pay them. That talent is going to be abundant. The second thing, if you're fast, if you understand how to scale with speed, and you come out of this thing, it's going to be a speed and price wins the game. Okay, so I just got off a coaching call. I've got a buddy that owns a PR firm in New York. He's got about 70 people. His value proposition coming out of this is where he could have never got Nike or somebody like that as a client. He's now going to have that opportunity because the agencies servicing Nike are going to be they're not going to be able to get to the level of price that his company can and provide speed and value. And these big companies are going to look to do cost cuts and savings. And it's an opportunity if you're not sleeping.
I love that. I love that. That's that Campbell soup game he giving us today. That business knowledge is good. Thank you, Judge, for that. And, I just want to just piggyback what Judge is sharing for us. Like, say, for instance, with our company, with the principles that I learned from Burn the Ships and being an alumni, I want to share with those who are tuned in the importance of getting around the right people. So you might say, what difference does that make? When the COVID-19 situation happened, the information that I had learned about being an alumni member of Burn the Ships prepared me for that particular mindset of how to attack. So when I saw what was happening, I was like, okay, let's go, baby. I'm prepared for this moment. It's just like being, nothing against, and I want to say we appreciate all of our servicemen and women out there. But in business, I was prepared. I was special ops. I mean, I'm from Texas, Graham knows about that. We believe in our guns in Texas. So I got my guns clean. I got my scope ready, buddy. Saying when it comes to business or whatnot, I am prepared for that because I say, this is why we have been blessed and honored to be the #1 self-publishing company in the world. It's because we are prepared for times like this. So we created a new show, Market Leader Live. We went and invested in new platforms. We made sure that we're able to build upon relationships that we were able to connect with before we got to this particular point. A byproduct of that is me being able to be online right now with my guy, Judge Graham, as a mentor or whatnot, because we had built a relationship. Totally. So now you can lean on those relationships in times like this. So whether you have a mastermind, you have a podcast, you have a platform, you got a book, you're doing a webinar, whatever it is for you to separate yourselves from others in the marketplace. Because like he said, it's that slingshot mentality because people are looking like, wow, this guy or that gal continued to serve us when everybody else was tucked in eating hot Cheetos with swim shorts on, watching Netflix or whatnot, binge watching. But the other people are pressing in the marketplace. So, Judge, share with that. I want to go a little bit further because, Judge, I know personally that you did some big exits. Upward over 8 to some 9-figure exits as far as what you've done in business. But if a guy like Judge Graham is pushing in the marketplace, you're taking time to do interviews like this. You got your own platform. You're still putting money into ads or whatnot. Share with those who are tuned in the importance of being a market leader and the importance of creating a platform of your own to add value.
Yeah, totally. Listen, I think you said a couple, there's a lot to unpack there and you did a great job. Right now, it's all about offense. Okay. Sales and marketing is #1 right now. Ads are cheaper right now. Right? When Facebook doesn't have a demand, that means the ads are cheaper. Dude, everything, the market is 50% on sale right now. Everything is an opportunity depending on how you look at it. And the ones that separate and understand this idea of market leader content, right, which I'm going to unpack here and understand the importance of marketing and sales right now are going to come out of this thing winning. That's just how this plays out, right? I mean, my partner, Matt Monero, says you got two choices here. You can make less or you can work harder, right? The thing I would add to that is you've got to work harder and you've got to be strategic. And strategic is market leader content, right? I mean, listen, I wrote a book. Why did I write that book? One, because this is a credibility asset, right? If somebody looks, you can Google Judge Graham, you're going to see my exits, my resume, all those things. You're going to see me in the press, but I wanted more credibility, right? So I wrote 2 books. I've got 2 books. Why do I have these 2 books? They help me with my platform. My platform is how do you scale a business fast with speed? How do you master recurring revenue? So therefore I wrote 2 books on that. Okay. Because now I am the authority on those topics, right? Through me not saying I'm the authority because I've been published, right? So that's just one idea of this market leader content, right? I mean, what are you doing right now to position yourself as the expert in your space? Now, you've got to be good at your trade, and you've got to be a master of your craft, and you've got to be real. But if you are those things, dude, now is the time to exploit it. Write a white paper, write a book, right? Update your website. Go hire a PR firm, right? Show your prospects why you are the market leader and then they should work with you. Go spend money on ads, right? Go build your pipeline right now because everything's on sale.
Everything is on sale. Even we look at the stock market right now. I was sharing with
on sale.
50% on sale. I was seeing some great companies and I was looking at it, I was like, can you believe this? It has nothing to do with their company. Their financials are solid. They're giving high dividends and still they're being smashed. It has nothing to do with COVID-19 at all because of panic. And I want to share with those who are tuned in what Judge is sharing as well. And what I want you to get out of this is don't become a part of the masses. You have to separate yourself. You have to be an outlier. You got to be able to stand away from the sheep and be a lion in a time like this, whatnot. You have to be the one who's pressing in the marketplace and saying, hey, I had one actual client, Judge, just share this story real quick to line up what we're talking about. The guy reached out to me. He's like, got, amazing law company or whatnot, law firm, is doing great, but this thing shook him up. And then he said, hey, Darren, I know I was going to get with you, buddy. But, some things happened. I said, no problem. No problem, bro. I said, we will be here. Take care of your family and we'll get together. But the guy has seen since that time we've spoken, we got 3 or 4 different conferences that's going on because we pivoted from the things that we were going to do in person. So we went online with it. We created another show. They see us with other influencers. So I tell you what this guy's looking at right now. He's commenting, he's liking stuff because he's looking at himself and thinking like, dang, when I'm ready to put my money down, when I'm ready to slide that card, when I'm ready to take care of that invoice, this is who I'm going with right now because I want a tiger. I want a lion. I want somebody who's going to be a beast in the marketplace. Because if this particular person, if this company is fighting like this for their clients, that's a part of a winning team that I want to be a part of. It's a reason why people wanted Tom Brady to be a part of their organization because he's a winner and everybody loves a winner or whatnot. And so with that half off on the marketplace, I want those who are tuned in, pay attention to what Judge is sharing with us and make sure that you move forward. Do not get caught up on just what CNN or MSNBC or Fox or whatever you're seeing on TikTok even or whatnot, or Snapchat is telling you about the world is ending. Those who are moving forward and pressing right now will be able to lay back and be able to count the dough because they were able to serve their clients in a time like this. And those who are average, those who are subpar, they're getting squished, man. They're getting squished like a bug because they're not prepared for a time like this. And Judge, when it comes to, let's talk a little bit about your book too, because I want to make sure that we get with Scale with Speed. With Scale with Speed, I see it's the #1 formula for massive success in today's marketplace. So what would separate Scale with Speed compared to some other business books out here when you talk about Scale with Speed?
Well, a couple things. You saw who did my forward, right? She's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is probably one of the most, renowned, business books ever written, right? So when you get an endorsement like that, you've got a good book. So I think the difference, and specifically right now that's so timely, is this book is no bullshit. There's no fluff in here. There's not a lot of personal stories. It's very tactical, right? I hate it when I read a book and it's very, theoretical and stories and, hey, that's great, but how do I make sense of this and make it real now? So this book is about tactical things that you can do right now to improve your life and your business, right? So SPEED's an acronym, right? SPEED spells out S, start with your end game. P, pick your niche. E, energize your culture. E, execute with speed. And D, dominate your top priorities. And I took that acronym and I built out frameworks, right, that are similar to things in Burn the Ship to give people downloadable documents and things to understand how to scale strategically, how to build a one-page plan, and how to attack the market at a new level of momentum that they've never done.
I love that. I love that. And some of those documents, I mean, I know that he has a journal coming out. I'm just going to kind of show you a glimpse of that. So that's the money sheet, baby.
Yeah, I love it. You know, we've got moleskin ones now you can get.
Really?
They're beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I definitely want y'all to get up on that money sheet. Make sure you go to judgegraham.com or whatnot to be able to pick up on that. And so here it goes again, far as the power of the connection. You know, you got someone who was able to make the powerhouse book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, being a part of that, showing the validity. This is market leader content again, guys. I keep going back to it. Do not miss the nuggets that Judge is sharing with us. We got to extract what he's giving us. Being able to use sharing on here as a forward gives instant credibility. Let's go back over the 3 pillars, or I like to call it the Trinity again. People do business with people who they know, like, and trust.
Amen.
So the more that you're able to connect, it's the reason why Tough Acting to Nacton had Shaquille O'Neal be a part of their brand or whatnot, because he's been known to be a champion. So they want to associate with a champion. They want to associate with somebody who they know that don't have a lot of chaos going on off the field or whatnot, or off the court, like you would have with some other players out there, was Antonio Brown or something like that. You can't put your brand with someone like that, even though it might be a great athlete, because of what you're doing off the field or whatnot that's damaging your reputation, which would damage that business. So here it is, far as a guy like Judge Graham being able to connect and have that credibility, instant credibility, because anyone who's read, pretty much anyone who's in professional or personal development has read Rich Dad or Poor Dad, like you read, The Science of Getting Rich, or The Greatest Man in Babylon. The list continues goes on. When you look at any stuff with Napoleon Hill, you know, okay, hey, this is Sharon wouldn't just put her name on anything. So if I never heard of Judge Graham, I instantly, if I was walking through an airport, and you can get this at the airport when we're allowed to go back in there for the most part, but you go through an airport and you look in the airport and you're like, wow, Sharon did the forward for this particular book. Man, I want to go here and do the same thing. And, and Judge, when we talk about scale with speed, before we close this out, I want you to share with the entrepreneurs on here and the business owners, and you don't even have to be an entrepreneur or business owner. One of the key elements that I got clarity with learning up under you was the importance of the end game. And knowing how to adjust. So just because I watch a webinar or I seen a guy driving a Rolls Royce and he says what his net worth is, that doesn't mean that aligns with who I am. And you did a great job of sharing how to make a pivot. If you see, like, wait a minute, actually, all I need is this amount, or all I want is this amount in assets to be actually able to be comfortable. Or you know what? I'm not willing to put the time or the sacrifice in it. Could you share a little bit about the end game and the ins and outs of the end game for the people who?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's in the book, right? Scale with Speed. It's start with your end game, right? So the idea of start with your end game is, Darren, most entrepreneurs, business people, or just people that have jobs, they don't ever get into that career or that business really understanding why they're in there, right? I mean, it started as a passion. It started to make some money, and you always have this theoretical thing in the back of your mind that, at some point in time, I have this idea of being rich, but you never quantify that, right? What the end game does is it forces you to say, what do you want? Why do you want it? And when do you want it? And it may sound really simple, but I promise 99.9% of the listeners right now, whether it's live or in the replay, you've never really sat down with your partner or by yourself and really put pen to paper on that, right? You've always go, man, it'd be great to have a Lamborghini. Well, do you want a $500,000 car? Why do you want it? When do you want it? Right? And it forces you to relook at, what do you want in your life and when do you want it? And then you back in, what's the effort and sacrifice needed to get there? right? In a lot of people, when they do that exercise, they go from saying, I want a $50 million jet in an island down to, you know what? I would love to have 3 million net in the bank. I'd like a lake house. I'd like my house paid off, and I'd like my kids' colleges paid off, and I'd like to drive 2, nice cars or whatever. And then it becomes much more attainable. And then you start to go, am I in the right vehicle business to get there? What's the level of activity? And when do I want it? And it starts all to map together so you can actually build a plan to get what you really want.
I love that. At the end of the day, for those who are tuned in, it's about getting what you actually want. Are you caught up in what your parents told you, and you're living a life and you find yourself and you got, debt for student loans because you went to get a degree that, your parent told you this is the only way that you can be successful, or you're doing something because it's the quote unquote responsible thing for you to do until you find yourself, for some of you who are tuned in right now, out of a job or out of work or starting over again. Understanding the end game was something that was, to me, it's imperative that all people should get, because how can you go somewhere if you don't have a target? If you don't even know, how can you, measure up or show the metrics if you're successful, if you don't know where the heck you're even headed to or where you're going? So if you're in Dallas, I'm just going to use Dallas as an example. It's a big difference between you going I-30 West and I-30 East, and you're trying to get to a place or whatnot. So I mean, it can have you. And so many of us are just out here saying, I'm hustling, or I'm grinding. Okay, nothing wrong with having a work ethic, but what are you grinding for? Where are you heading? And that's the thing that you got to keep in mind. So make sure that you connect and learn more from influencers like this.
So that's the problem with, listen, and I like Grant, right? And Matt knows Grant, Cardone really well. My issue, and I love 10X. I love it's a mindset though, right? I mean, the problem with 10X is hashtag grind, hashtag hustle. Dude, if you're just 10Xing, you may be 10Xing the wrong things, the wrong level of activity. It doesn't matter until you have your end game and your plan. How do you know what to 10X? Okay. So listen to that. If everybody just takes one nugget from this, if you're just freaking grinding and 10Xing and you don't have an end game and you're not doing it against a plan that you have mapped out, here are the priorities to get the goal that I want, then it doesn't matter. You have a glorified job that has no end in sight and you don't know what you're going to get.
Wow. Woo, man. On that note, let me go ahead and drop the mic from a guy, Judge. He just killed it. What are you doing? And so with that, Judge, please share with them, how can they connect with you? How can they be a part of Burn the Ships or purchasing your merchandise or get some of the money sheets or things like that you have to offer?
Yeah, totally. Right now, the best, all my social handles are pretty much at Judge Graham. But, go to burntheships.com. We've got multiple programs. We've got an online course. We've got a mentorship program that Darren's a part of. I mean, it's crazy. It's $94 a month. And myself and Matt Monero, who I think is going to come on this show, who's a heavy hitter, we come on once a week for an hour, and we drop knowledge in business, and we do open live Q&A. If you come to the event like Darren did, you get that lifetime access. If not, and you just want to tip your toe in, dude, you're going to get counsel from guys like Matt and I once a week for an hour for $94 a month. So put away Starbucks, right? and spend $100. Listen, Matt and I make no money on that thing, right? That makes sense for us. For us, it's purpose, right? Listen, we want to see entrepreneurs win. That's just how it plays out, right? The more that entrepreneurs win, the better the economy is, the more stable families are. Everything's just better. So if we can help one entrepreneur at a time go from a entrepreneur to a CEO, then we've checked that purpose box.
And guys, I just want to tell you, if you can, please, lifetime access, because I ponied up, invested, one of the best investments, because you have to self-assess. That's important for you. I always surround myself with people who's smarter and more talented than I am, even with the staff of team members that we have. I do the same thing. I don't try to know it all. I knew that I had got to a breaking point, and I want to say this before we end. I was an entrepreneur. Great. I can sell. Great. But a business owner, I wasn't. That was my Achilles heel. So I had something that I was gifted at that opened up doors that I wasn't actually prepared for. So I had to take a grain of salt, take a piece of humble pie, and say, you know what? I need to go where I can learn and train on the individuals who've already been where I'm trying to go, so I can learn from their mistakes that they've made along the way, so I can make the necessary end game that allows for me to have a bridge to go over that particular obstacle or that situation that they were in, so I can make the best life for those who are my family, team members, my community, what I'm doing with churches, whatnot, tithing or giving to whatever charity or nonprofit or whatever I choose to do to, because I got the right mentorship. So I want to just charge you. It's already one young lady who's a client of mine. I already sent their way, who will be at the next event. But I want you all, like I said, I'm not getting anything off of this. We want to make sure we impact lives. I'm confident the way that I am is because I got the right training. I have people who are following up. This is not a guy that speaks from stage and I never hear from him again. Here you see he's taking time out of his schedule from his family in a time like this in COVID-19 to get on with me and to be able to help you, because he has a heart the size of Texas. So I want to, of course, be a part of the mentorship just to start off. But I know some of you have the investment, you have the reserves. Let your next move be your best move. Because I'm telling you flat out, I've made over 100% and more. Not the knowledge and the information I got was priceless, but just off deals I made in the room, right, with the people. We didn't even say anything about the other killers that's in the room that's killing it. That's just a part of the group that you're a part of, an alumni that you connected with. So please invest in yourself, man. Do not run around and be in fear. Make sure you let your next move be your best move. I'll leave all the information in the show notes or whatnot. But Judge, man, thanks, man. Any last words to the people, man, before we close it out, brother?
No, I think, man, thank you, and you did a great ending there. I mean, I think there's something to be said though in that concept of your network is your net worth, right? And I think right now more than ever, seek out counsel, not advice. Surround yourself with individuals that want to play offense. Surround yourself with people that are turning off the freaking news. Surround yourself with people that are uplifting and are constructive. Because right now, in times of chaos, who you decide to listen to and surround yourself will determine that outcome. So I beg of everybody right now, get your mind right, get your circle right, and get your money right.
Come on now. Come on. Let the church say amen. We're closing it out, man. We're closing out. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. This is another episode of the Author Spotlight Special Edition for Market Leader Live. Remember, this is the year for your new book. If you want to be great, let your next move be your best move. Be blessed and be great.